getting ready for the first heat race of Saturday night at Thanksgiving Thunder with the Model Lights. Caden Cochran, the 23K, brings the field to the green, and 2 is outside the 17 of Anthony Balcazar.
It was in the heat races yesterday for the Mod Lights that we saw a wild tumble down the front straightaway. And Tommy, just to make things just as wild, the 38S machine is being piloted by Robbie Sawyer.
Wow.
You could probably put Robbie in like a shopping cart and he's going to want to win.
Definitely. Here he goes in the second spot. Oh, how about this? To the outside for the lead. The 38S, Robbie Sawyer, looking for a way around Cochran. Gets the job done. Now, if Cochran, if he can just try to keep up with the 38S, he can learn a lot from that dirt track veteran.
Absolutely. Battle in the back here.
J.D. Brown in the 5J leads his pack. Then we got the one of Kylie Forrester and Candy Varney in the 71. That looks like a Band-Aid on the back of Candy's car. That's actually a bunch of small checkers. Oh. Red and yellow checkers.
That car almost needed a Band-Aid after yesterday.
True, very true. Lap 3 of 8 for the Mod Lights. All divisions doing 30 laps here for their main events tonight.
The first few divisions that we'll see, we will not be talking about B main events or transfer spots. These drivers are racing to kind of set themselves up for the main events.
Our front row, pretty cool little note there. Caden Cochran and Anthony Balcazar, Jeffrey, do you remember where they grew up from?
Minidorfs, baby.
Yeah. They used to duel it out side by side, and the Minidorfs, now they've gone up the ladder, the racing ladder, into these Mod Lights, propelling their racing career.
Definitely the group to watch here. Tommy, do you think Sawyer's going to catch up to this pack?
I'm not too sure. I think as the white flag is flying right now for Sawyer, I mean, don't put it past him, but I think time's out. I see a trailer pulling into the pits right now, so that's a good sign. Another late entry, late into the evening. Early evening, I should say, as the checkered flag flies for the 38S of Robbie Sawyer.
Cochran running comfortably in second. The battle's going to be for third between Balcazar and Brown into turn number 3.
Here comes J.D. Brown in the 5J down low. He's not going to get the job done. Anthony Balcazar holds on to third. Woo, doggy. It was a fun night last night, Jeff. We're going to continue it on tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tommy, one thing we'll be paying a lot of attention to, like I mentioned, while we don't have transfer spots, we do have a top 12 redraw. So that means it still is valuable for you to be in the top 12. What we'll be paying attention closely here for these drivers, obviously there were 6 drivers in the heat race, so not so much a scenario we'll be talking about for Mod Lights. Getting ready to go for heat race number 2, Mod Light action, the 171 machine. Tim Varney on the pole, but jumping to the lead is the 44 of Zach Forrester. Second spot now occupied by the 12 of Jeff Thompson. Third place, Jerry Flippo. Battle for fourth is the 96 machine. That being Bender.
Bender to the inside of Thompson's number 12 machine. Side by side for the third spot. They're battling it out in this heat race. Number 2 for the Model Lights. Bender, a strong competitor in his number 96 last night.
Yeah, this car was looking really good. Roy Maynard Jr. in the 70 machine. And the 171 of Varney has slipped from the front to the back in this heat race.
Back here. Maynard, a graduate from the mini stock class.
Tommy, we saw a very competitive race last night with these cars in the main event. A lot of slicing and dicing up front. A little bit of lap traffic coming into play for drivers like the one leading this heat race of Zach Forrester. He got hooked into turn number 1. So looking for better fortunes here on this night. Not to mention that at the end of his last heat race he did. Actually, I should say at the beginning of the last heat race he did.
Yeah.
Oh, Bender's going to spin out.
These cars definitely are a handful. Look at Flippo catching up to your leader.
Yeah, Jerry Flippo, the 13 machine, a driver who did graduate from the Minidorf class. He's been racing this division for a solid year now. closing in on 2, actually, I believe. Flippo looking to catch up. The white flag's in the air for Forrester. Down the back straightaway, the number 44 machine holding on to the lead. Last night, he was on his lid. Today, he's going to take the checkered flag in the heat races. I'd say a solid turnaround for Forrester. Yep. Battle here out of turn number 4 between Maynard and Bender. Bender will come up on top, taking the 4th spot away. And rounding out the field, Varney with lots of duct tape for numbers.
So scheduled to start in this Western Pro Stock lineup, the number 1 machine of Steve Worstel from San Diego. To the outside, the number 78S of Randy Schweitzer from Bakersfield. Inside row 2, the number 50 machine of Chris Smith from Coalinga. And to his outside, the K9 dog, that is driver Mike Lurwill from El Cajon. And starting in the rear, the number 33 AZ, Mike Corwin from Bakersfield. Lights still on this racetrack. You've already downed that one Oreo Pop. So give us a full review. Don't eat the rest of them.
I'm not eating.
Come on now. Of course, he's sitting right next to him, or standing right next to him.
That was good.
We also have, amongst all the viewers, the first-time viewer here tonight, who should be racing, but unfortunately his car was too damaged.
What the heck?
Is the number 14B, Stephen Bowles. So Steve Bowles, unfortunately watching from home, but hey, he's still watching, so he's still a part of the action.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm taking a look here. I have a car that I believe should be in the field, the number 4T machine, who isn't on track.
Terry Lawrence. Yeah, Terry Lawrence from Auburn, California.
There's another car that will be in the Pro Stock race that is going to have some work to do. We saw the 3X machine lose a drive shaft during hot laps.
Here we go. Green flag, heat number 1 for the Pro Stock.
So do you think that the last time we saw a car, Tommy, that looked like the 78S, and it was a different Schweitzer, that car struggled to turn?
Funny enough, I believe there's been a driver change in that machine as well, and I think that might be driven by Robbie Sawyer.
In the 78S?
Yeah. Not this 78S, the 78S modified. Battle for the second spot. Here comes the K9, Mike Lurwill to the inside.
I was going to say that wasn't the first time that's happened. If that's
correct. Randy Schweitzer going back to 3rd in this 78S machine. And it looks like Lurwill trying to work in his lead.
A lot of these cars trying to just kind of get a hold of the track right now.
78S of Schweitzer kind of chucked away. It looked like part of his fender. A little sheet metal. It's off track. It's out of the groove. So there will not be a NASCAR caution for this.
How far out of the groove is it is the question.
It's up against the wall, so it might be. No,
red flag.
We're good. So San Diego, Steve Worstel, if we're saying that name correctly, out into the lead. Looks like Lurwill, though, trying his best. It looks like, Jeffrey, we talked about the track as we were heading into this night. There was a lot of water being placed on this track. Battle for the lead. Here comes Mike Lurwill to the inside. He just goes ahead and takes the spot from the number 1 machine of Worstel.
Yeah, Tommy, a lot of moisture. You can still see right along the inside of the track as well.
But look at these cars when they come into turn number 3 and 4. There is some dust coming on. So this track, usually after a 2-day race, the second day being the drier, slick track of the 2. So we might see this track really widen out from top to bottom and see some great 3 and 4 wide racing. Not that we didn't see it last night, but it's going to be a little bit of a challenge now as the drivers getting set up. Checkered flag for the K9.
And I can tell you, as the sun begins to deplete from existence, it is dropping in temperature.
Mike Lurwill, congratulations.
For all you people who are like, oh, it's not that. Here is number 2 for the Western Pro Stocks. Starting on the front row, the 14 machine of Lonnie Welch, and to his outside, the 11H of Mike Learn. Row number 2 gives us the 27 of Michael Rumbaugh and the 72 machine of Lee Jensen. What?
I'm just laughing. Here we go.
That's good.
Sugar's already kicking my butt.
Green flag. And once again, we saw what we saw in the first heat race with this division, where the leader just kind of takes away that line from the upper car, 3 wide in the back. The 5 machine making a move of Ed Buston, and the 83 car rounding out the field of Eddie Hammett. Jensen up to second.
Lonnie Welch, I was watching him in hot laps earlier. He could not catch a break. He was trying to free himself from a couple of slower cars. Every time he'd get on the gas, the slower car in front of him would bobble, and he could not lay down a fast lap. This, however, is a totally different story, and he's looking like he's laying down some quick laps.
Small issue for the 27 machine of Rumbau. Looked like he may have gotten around over in the turn, kept it going. Welch right now, Tom, you talked about him having issues during the hot laps. He has nobody in front of him, but he does have one to his left. That's Lee Jensen, the Dragon Slayer in the 72 machine. And actually closing back in on them is the driver that lost a couple positions early on of Learn in the 11H.
Now, Jeffrey, we've talked about Lee Jensen's streak here. Not so much streak, but his most recent finishes, he's a showstopper.
He is. He has a habit of making a move when it counts.
Yeah.
And for him, when it counts, is usually coming out of turn 2 on the final lap of the race.
His nickname is the Dragon Slayer, but it might be Mr. Excitement here at the end of the night.
Welch continues to hold the lead. Learn is in third. 4th and 5th, not far behind your top 3. The 5 machine of Buston, the 83 of Hammett. White flag going to come out this time by. And it did. It came by that time by. Welch still trying to hold off Jensen. They're going to have some lap traffic to deal with here on their lead. The swap isn't going to happen out of turn number 4. Jensen's fighting for it. They're going to try and split the middle, and Jensen's going to take the victory in the heat race.
Right place, right time.
You know, Jensen, yeah, you could say that, but I feel like Welch was more in the wrong place at the right time.
Exactly. 3D of Mike Johnson will lead this one to the green. To his outside will be the number 7 of Chris Warner from Olivehurst. Inside row 2, the number 06 machine of Dennis Woolridge from Riverside. And to his outside, Blazin' Brady Bell in the number 54 machine. He's a hometown boy from Bakersfield. Rounding out the field, the number 11 of Philip Shelby. And green flag. Be ready, folks. Live on Race 2 Decks, we're going to get ready for our first of many coverage questions here tonight. And of course, of all of you watching on YouTube right now, we do some live streaming all throughout the season. So look for the nearest one in 2016. www.racefeedx.com.
There's some smoke coming out of your leader.
3D Mike Johnson picking up the front end and smoking. He's going to get some pressure now from the 7 of Warner.
That's not the good kind of smoke, Tommy.
No.
There is some contact in the back.
Yeah, it's coming out from, looks like from the exhaust area. That is going to put the 3D to the infield. So hopefully it didn't look like a lot of smoke at one time, but it looks fixable, but it's not how you want to start your day of racing. With that, Brady Bell in the number 54 in the second spot. Now he's putting pressure on Warner. Also, battle for third heading into turn number 3.
So tough luck to have a number 3 today.
Yeah, I guess so. Philip Shelby in the number 11 machine to the inside of Woolridge. Of Woolridge, I should say. I put a D in there.
Tommy, I just want to verify something real quick. If you look at the 11H on your sheet, what's the name?
Mike Learn. I know, I see what you're seeing.
Because I know we've already had... Yeah.
The name on the door does not even fit the names of each driver.
Well, we've already had a Hammett. So that's why I was just trying to make sure. But it sometimes just works out that way.
Well, there are 3 drivers from the same town, so that could be the issue.
Yeah. White flag in the air.
Eddie Hammett from Olivehurst, Philip Shelby from Olivehurst, Chris Warner from Olivehurst. So maybe they're switching rides. Checkered flag flying for Chris Warner. He crosses the stripe. Brady Bell in the second spot. Third spot goes to Shelby. Fourth, Woolridge.
Getting ready for the first Sport Mod heat race, folks. Now we're talking transfer spots. Top 3 will go on to the main event. The rest will have to go through the B main event. On the front row and leading us early on, it's Wild Wayne Dodson, but to his outside, the number 2C machine of Trevor Klimans. He's trying to make something happen right behind them in the last car in the transfer spot, the 97 machine of Gary Dutton. He took a really hard hit into the wall. Yesterday, Tommy ripped off the right front.
Yeah, that put him down for the evening, but he is back. 3-wide battle up front.
Wayne Dodson now has the lead. Dutton, though, is looking to challenge. He's on the inside of Klimans. The battle for the lead is on lap number 2 of the heat race. Behind these drivers, the 38S machine of Nick Sylvester is battling it out with the 9J of Jordan Hager. Still battling up front for the lead. Side by side, it's the 1 for second Klimans on the outside and the 2C, the 97 of Gary Dutton on the inside. He's going to clear him down the back straightaway. Also in the field, the number 04 machine of Austin Mantella in his first few races we've ever seen him in the Sport Mod. And the caboose for the field right now, the 33 machine of Kel Kanky. That's a full rundown of who's in this one.
That sure is. Jeffrey, battle for the third, battle for transfer spot.
Yeah, Sylvester to the inside of Klimans. He's not going to be able to hold it out of turn number 4. He's going to throw it down the front straight away. But the battle for the lead between Dodson and Dutton. That 97 machine has taken some big hits in the last couple of races it's been in. Looking for some redemption here tonight for Gary Dutton. You know what I love, Tommy, is Dutton's getting that left front so far off the ground that it's practically stopping by the time it's ready to go back on the ground. White flag is in the air.
Klimans has one more lap to hold on to the transfer spot. Here comes Sylvester down low.
I'm still looking at that left front tire, man. Sylvester tried to make a move through the final turn. Dodson's going to hold off Dutton and take the win in the first Sport Mod heat race. Klimans will hold off Sylvester, and at the line, it's going to be Mantella holding off Kanky.
Not bad, not bad.
So our transfers there, Dodson, Dutton, and Klimans. The rest have a B main event that they have to deal with.
And how about, you want to talk about a difference between yesterday and today? Who was the guy that was on the mission to sweep all of his races?
That was Sylvester.
Look who's going from the B main to the feature tonight. Inside row number 1, the 22C Michael Johnson, winner last night in the main event. He was outside the 68J Billy the Kid Simpkins. The number 1 of Tim Cecil starts inside row 2, and the number 43.
Oh boy!
Al Johnson. He is on the bubble.
Now he's in the bubble.
Now he's in the bubble.
He is the bubble.
The 7C on the charge to the outside, battling for the transfer spot, is Clint Reichenbach. Then the 83 normally driven by Jason Nation, driven by Alan Ballard here tonight. And rounding out the field, the number 50, 7M X of Mark Hodgson.
Seeing a couple cars doing this, lifting up that left front wheel. I'm going to have some fun with this on this lap. Look at Ballard in the 83.
Normally when it's a dry slick track, it's a less aggressive setup. This weekend, since the weather's cooler, you've got a lot of moisture in the track, they're doing the really fast digging in setup, and you're going to see that left front carry out of the corner. Now you're watching the transfer spot. The 7C wants in, the 43 has it, Reichenbach to the inside, and he's going to spin it out right in front of Ballard, no contact. And just like that, you can make the wrong bobble at the right time. Continue on the outside looking in.
Reichenbach has to go through the B main events again.
Regardless, due to the fact that he spun out, caused caution, one and done policy for caution, so you create one and you're done for this race. Here comes a black flag from the flagman. Ballard did a great job on his 83 machine to keep from go for the restart, lap 4 halfway through this heat race. Johnson's gonna hang it out sideways, That's going to create a stack up, and Cecil getting the worst end of it.
Luckily, he was able to avoid the tractor tire. Here goes Ballard for the transfer spot.
He throws it down low, moves into the third spot, but a crossover potentially from the 43 machine. Al Johnson wants it back. Lap number 5.
Dude, that 83 car could probably use that left front tire for the rest of his life if he keeps running it the way he is. I mean, watch this again. Cecil spins out.
He's not carrying it as much as, let's say, a Dutton did.
Whatever. But if you want to have this be a competition, Tommy, then we can have this be a competition.
Let's do a height game. I've got the ruler. Checkered flag flying for the 68J. Billy the Kid Simpkins out of turn number 4. First place. Second goes to the 22C Michael Johnson. And third will be Ballard in the number 83. Those three going on to the main event. All others going to have to transfer through the B main event. Cecil and that 1C machine needs to work on that setup or work on his right foot, either way.
Starting on the front row of the number 40 machine, Nick Spainhoward, and to his outside, the 33 machine of Paul Espino. Watching for the green, it's in the air, and we're racing Sport Modifieds for a top 3 spot. Some contact into turn number 1, and the 4 machine of Joey Yantis slides right up and shows his dominance as he takes over the second position. That's going to hurt Espino making his way into this main event, at least through this point. 13M machine of Matt Mayo moves into the transfer spot. But he's going to have to deal with the number 7 machine of Fred Ryland. Tom, you talked a little bit about that wrap earlier.
Jeffrey, that car is looking good. Take a look at the gold leaf letters and everything on this thing. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't care about the wrapping mark. He wants into this A feature. You're watching on screen the battle for the transfer spot.
It's a good one. Just rounding out this field, the number 94 machine, that's Matt Megenheimer, and in the caboose of the field, the 117 of Tim Paddock. Paddock looks like his car's struggling just as much as it was yesterday. Side by side for the transfer spot. Mayo goes way wide up to the wall. Ryland right down to the berm. They're going to come across the line door to door. Ryland is looking. He's going to swing it through, and check that out. Now they're on opposite ends of the track.
Each other.
No, one's in turn 3 and one's in turn 1. Yeah.
Fred Ryland actually stole a victory, and I use that term loosely, from the outlaw Rick Childress out at Keene Speedway for their Dirt Nationals. Remember, he was sneaking by Childress out into the lead, and Ryland just came out of nowhere, took it on.
That was a great race there. 2 laps to go in this one. Nick Spainhoward looking to clearly make his way into the A feature here tonight. Again, the top 12, so you make it through to the main event through the heats. It really pays off because no matter where you finish in that top 3 in the heat, you can be up to start on the front row. It's a complete redraw for the top 12. Out of turn number 4, Nick Spainhoward wins the heat race. Good battle down the back straightaway between Megenheimer and Espino. Megenheimer's gonna take the spot away, and out of turn number 4, the 94 machine will finish 5th.
So this, I believe, is the final heat race for the Sport Mods, and how about this? Spud out into the lead, bringing this one to the green. The 63 Aaron Farrell, and to his outside, the number 3 of Jared Schweitzer. Inside row number 2 is the number 42 machine. First time we've seen this car here. Jack Hurley. No, I lied. And we go green flag, 44 of Tim Elias. The 13 machine of Cheney, and to the outside of him is a 14 of Haggio. So Farrell
Here's your transfer spot.
Farrell slips back to second. You see the 42 machine's going to spin out as he was battling for the transfer spot up on the high side. Cheney's going to have to spin to avoid. All cars continue rolling. We stay green.
So that really worked into Farrell and Elias just holding on to this transfer spots and not having to worry too much about it. But Haggio's going to make a move for it.
Jeffrey, we've seen Hagio out here in hobby stocks. We've seen him in sport mods. We've seen him at other tracks in the sport mod. He's actually pretty fast.
Yeah.
So
and here he comes.
Tim Elias is going to have a lot of work on his hands right now.
So much for breathing easy, right?
Yeah, exactly. What's good is Tim can't actually see what's going on, except for right now. Now we got a battle for the transfer spot, lap 3 of 8. Hagio down low. Elias up high. Hagio is going to take the spot, move into the 3rd spot. Jared Schweitzer out to the lead.
Yeah,
Checked
no
out.
complaints for Jared.
He's about a straightaway ahead of your 2nd spot, Farrell. And Hagio. Tim Elias from Chowchilla. We've been out there and filmed a couple of races there before. And Farrell's going to spin out of 2nd spot. He's in 3rd. He's just going to watch Elias drive by and stalls it down low. Spins out of the transfer position in the 2nd spot. Gets it back rolling, but the yellow comes out. Aaron Spud Farrell.
Complete too little too late with that caution coming out. Farrell will be parked.
He didn't even wait for the black flag. I'm sure he was dejected right there.
He knew. That is a shame for the 63 machine. Farrell was in the transfer spot, and once again, Tommy, we talk about Elias and his fortune getting back into it, but he's going to have to now deal with Cheney and the 42 machine here who's back. Now, you convinced yourself that we do actually recognize this guy.
Jack Hurley from Los Banos.
Backfire. Well, we got one to go.
Hang on a second, Jeffrey. You know more Spanish than I do. Los Banos. Doesn't that mean the bathroom?
The baños.
The baños. But there is no squiggly mustache above.
You need a squiggly mustache. I'm sure that the announcers might have just not felt like it was necessary to type everything in for us, which is cool. The fact that they give us these sheets, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to the announcers out here. They're always entertaining, whether on or off the mic.
Mike Soley, Mike Patterson. Actually, Mike Patterson's with Spreaker.com announcing this on the internet. Here we go. There's Schweitzer. Here we go. So, battle for the transfer spot, Jeffrey. We were talking about this before. Here is Cheney to the inside of Elias. Any bit of a bubble, and you can find yourself outside.
White flag is in the air. Last chance.
Cheney down low. He knows what this is all about. Schweitzer's going to bring this one to the checkered flag. Elias going to hold his ground down low and hold on to the 3rd spot. Cheney slips back to 5th as the 42 of Hurley sneaks by.
Jared Schweitzer seems to have either a great day or a terrible day. There's not very much in between for Jared Schweitzer.
Yeah, exactly.
Victory goes to the 3 machine. Hobby stocks roll out next. First of the hobby stock heat races. Looks like we might have 3 of them, which means to finish in the top 4 gets you in the top 12 for that redraw. So we'll be paying attention to the top 4 and who gets into it. Starting on the front row, the 21 machine of Kyle Wood was in contention for the victory last night, and beating and banging, spinning and spanning,
Flipping and slapping.
it all happened to him. Green flag is in the air. He's looking to have a better night tonight, as well as a number of the drivers in the field. The number 12 machine battling on the outside for the lead. That is Chris Fritz. Now, Fritz, Tommy, he got a flat tire early on in that race, went down a couple laps, but then spent the rest of the race racing with the leaders. Trouble here, maybe. It looks like he's getting back up to speed, perhaps. It's the 53 machine of Travis Tucker. Another driver that you could talk about had tough luck last night. Was in contention to make it forward into the A-main event, lost his front bumper. And now he's going to spin out.
And
360.
nice job. I'll give that an 8.
Out of turn number 2, the 70 machine. That is driven by John McKinley. He's got pressure from the 99 of Don Mead. all four of the drivers. This is a battle for third.
Now, Jeffrey, you saw McKinley in line at the concession stands yesterday.
I did. It's funny because he was just wearing a jacket and a shirt, and I was like, weren't you racing? And then I glanced down at his red driver suit pants. I was like, yes, you were. Yeah, McKinley was talking about how yesterday, during the redraw, he pulled the wrong number, man. So tonight, looking for redemption, I'm pulling the right one.
Good battle up front, potentially brewing. Kyle Wood wants Fritz, but Fritz ain't having it.
This is a lot similar to what we saw last night. However, our winner from last night, the 98 machine of Luke Dodd, not here tonight.
He's probably up in Porterville.
He is.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Same story as last year?
Same story with different in between.
Okay.
Same as in he ended up from one track to the next. He probably just enjoyed that going from one to the next. Wood to the inside for the win, but it's not going to end that well. White flag is in the air for Fritz. Wood is going to be able to hold on to second. McKinley's still dealing with Don Mead for third. And the 53 machine pulled it into the pit area. Tucker Dunn. Checkered flag in the air for Fritz. He'll be hoping to do the same as far as capturing the checkered flag in the main event. Your top four will be moving on to the redraw.
Number 52 straight up, that is red. Perry Alderman to his outside, that'll be the number 7 machine. I couldn't see across the track. Mike Stanford, we were just talking about him from Oxnard. We go green. You see an American stock stayed for another night of racing. The 20X of Ben Lewis.
I love it.
Taking a page from Rich Denman. The 52X machine that is piloted by Cody Sly. The 25X is piloted by Anthony Sly. As another Sly spins out. And rounding out the field, you see the red and white machine of Tim Worth from Coalinga.
Now remember, top four get the redraw. That means they have the opportunity of maybe starting on the front row. Oh, Stanford
holds on to it, and he's going to get some pressure now from Alderman to the outside.
Moving on, Anthony Sly, who really tried to knock down the wall last night. Battle for fourth is also on tap, and that is, again, the redraw spot. Worth to the inside of the 20X.
Worth doing a better job here tonight than last night for him. Hell, he's doing a better job than the Bud Nationals.
That was very hard.
Former sprint car champion out at King Speedway. And we were talking to him a while ago at the end after he won the hobby stock race up there. He said these cars are harder to drive than a sprint car. So
I'm still loving that there's an American stock who hung around.
Well, Stanford holding on to that lead. Holding off Alderman in his brand new number 52 machine to him. Stanford stretching out his legs this weekend. Normal competitor out at Ventura Raceway. A fun 5th mile racetrack that we get the privilege to go to about once a year for the fair race. Battle for the lead. Stanford trying his best to hold off Alderman.
Worth has moved up into the 3rd position. Around Sly. And Alderman right now trying to find a way around Stanford. White flag is in the air as they cross the line.
Number 20 around. That's a big old spin there from a big old car. 20X of Ben Lewis from Stockton. White flag is flying. 2 more corners to go, I should say. And out of turn number 4, the 7 of Stanford gonna hold off Alderman. Mike Stanford. Checkered flag. Perry Alderman in the 2nd spot. 3rd, Tim Worth. 4th, 25X.
And for today, there will not be a B main event for the hobby stocks.
Yep, 16 of them.
So they're not going to have to worry so much.
You do wonder how many cars went to Porterville versus... Here we go, hobby stock. Heat race continues on. Mike Shearer in the number 67. Justin Dunn in the 14J. Your top 2 as they round turns 1 and 2. Marty Party Wallace in the number 15 and 3rd. I know Jeffrey can continue on.
Heck yeah, baby.
I'm stealing your thunder.
Battle for 4th spot. That's the 87 machine of Matt McEwen. The other McEwen not here tonight was racing with us, the number 0 machine, the 09. That's Trevor Fitz. Battling it out. Some smoke maybe coming out of the 15 machine, Tommy.
That's not good for the party.
Definitely some smoke coming out of that 15 machine at this point.
That's a lot of
Party right now is partying a little bit too much under that hood.
You can see it coming out from under the hood there.
Also in the field, the number 06 machine of Chris Bougre that we talked about. Tommy, that's a concern for that 15 machine. You can smell that one.
Yeah, definitely some oil line or oil out of the breathers. Something's going on.
So Dunn leads us away with Shearer in second. And we still got a good battle here for that redraw spot between Fitz and Bougre. Fitz looks to the inside, trying to squeeze it down in that 09 machine out of Camarillo.
So quite a bit of cars coming from Ventura Raceway tonight.
Glad to have them. And that's what we talked about. Like, although we lost some cars last night, either from carnage or sneaking off to a different track, we also gained cars that weren't here last night. So it was a bit of a mixed bag.
That could easily be people.
Oh boy.
People not able to come to the race on Friday night because of work or something.
Yep. And given that this was a completely new night of racing, there was incentive for these drivers to come on out tonight. White flag is in the air for Justin Dunn in the 14 machine.
Justin Dunn, a normal competitor out at Bakersfield Speedway. That's a fun half-mile dirt track to go to if you're in the area or if you want to take a racing vacation.
Through turns 3 and 4, the 14 car looking good tonight. Justin Dunn takes the checkered. Shearer, McEwen, and Bougre will be the top 4 cars across the line. They will be part of the redraw. And across the line, Fitz.
All right, jacket time.
Yep.
To go from the flag stand, the IMCA Modifieds first heat of this Saturday night. Clinton Reichenbach starts on, I guess, either Rickenback or Reichenbach. Who knows? No, but we've talked to him, and he said he doesn't care. That'll be your pole starter.
That's Chad.
Chad, my bad. That's all in my bad entirely. Whittle, Ethan Dodson. On the outside, the 174, we go green. Surfer Dude Brian Clark, 51B, the 945 of W. Otteson. And that was going to be a no good start. So no good from the flag stand, probably because I didn't give you the starting lineup. The 6P. Now this is where I apologize. This is going to be a public apology from Low Budget TV.
Maybe.
Well, no, we got it right on our sheet as well.
Oh, is it corrected now?
Yes. Travis Peary from Williston, I believe North Dakota.
Yes.
Starting on the outside of the third row, G5, Brad Pounds, 5L, Carla Laney, and rounding out the field, the 13B machine, piloted by Donald Banfield. We go green. Much better start. And the reason why we issued a public apology is purely for the fact that for whatever reason on the sheet that we were handed, and same with the track announcers, it was pronounced P-Fry.
Well, it had an F.
Somewhere, right? So lap one, we're going to keep an eye on top three.
As you could say, his name on our sheet was F'd up.
Yes, it was. Top 3 cars are the ones to go on to the feature. 4th place on back. Going from the B main event, Brad Pounds holds on to the 4th spot. And that G5 champion out here at Bakersfield Speedway. And around in the 13B machine, Banfield. And that'll create a caution. Everybody coming to a stop nearly. So Banfield.
I believe the 13B machine did some traveling too, if I'm correct.
Let's take a look here. Yes, White City, Oregon.
Nice.
That's a drive.
It's probably a little bit colder up there.
Probably a little bit there. He's probably wearing t-shirt and shorts and flip-flops.
While driving his race car.
Yes, sir. So Banfield gonna have to go off track and continue his night through the B main event. All others dueling it out. Top 3 cars go directly into the A feature. That'll put the North Dakota driver on the bubble in the number 6P machine. Travis Peary. Good looking car. That thing is clean looking. Kind of nostalgic versus all the crazy wraps that you see nowadays. But you cannot deny the color and the number on that 6P machine. You can see it from a mile away.
Funny enough, I actually thought it was a 0.
Oh, nice.
Counter what you were saying.
He screwed it up. Ethan Dodson. I was giving him so much props too. Ethan Dodson restarting this field. 3 laps down of 8. Here to the inside of Rickenback. Battle for the second spot. This could help open the opportunity for the G5 of Brad Pounds. Brad finishing second spot to Cody Laney last night. You know, the hard battle there for that lead. Ethan Dodson, if you can see behind him, he'd love what he sees because the battle for the second spot continues on with a bump draft. Surfer dude Brian Clark in the 51B to the inside of Audison's number 945. Now we got a battle for the transfer spot into turn number 1. Peary getting passed by Pounds. Peary doing the crossover down the back straightaway. 2 heavy hitters battling out. 1 to go.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Into the wall goes G5 of Pounds. White flag is flying. Who's going into the feature in this one?
Now Brad's going to be driving angry.
Brad with a bit of a bumper tag into turn number 3 down low. Peary versus Pounds. It's Peary, the 6P machine, holding on to the 3rd spot. Pounds is a G5. And all others going from the B main.
Wow.
That was some transfer spot races.
Because where we've been talking about top 4 for some of these, that's because there were 3. We have 4 heat races for the IMCA Modifieds. 12 cars will move on from the heats to the main. And that battle there just goes to show the competition we're dealing with tonight. Brad Pounds, Tommy, had a good race last night in the main event. He has a B main event to go through.
You gotta love these 2-day shows for that reason. You never know what you're gonna get until the racing starts.
Well, I mean, a perfect example, though, that just because you're in the B main doesn't mean you're out of contention. Bobby Hogue, who's in this heat race, had to go through the B main event.
Yes.
He finished 3rd in the event. Stanford, the same story, he finished 4th. That's out of 22 cars.
Single file lineup in modified.
We got 30 cars here tonight, which means 8 cars aren't going to make it on. Guarantee you not one of those 8 cars finish in the top 3 in this heat race. Starting on the front row is going to be the 151 machine of Brett Bennett and the number 2 machine of Bobby Hogue the 4th. Row number 2 will consist of the 78S machine of Matt Schweitzer. Now, didn't you say you thought Robbie was going to be in this car?
I thought so, but the sheet says Schweitzer. So I don't even know.
I like it. Is there a flip on Sanders' car?
What?
You'll see it when it comes by. It looks like a screen. Anyways, the 10-in machine, that's Rob Sanders. He's carrying something on his roof. The 1100, Cody Laney. He had a decent night last night.
Just won it.
Yeah, just won it. The 22D, Ryan Daves. Now watch Sanders here as I get to the last row.
It's a GoPro with a screen on the back.
What, they have those?
Yeah, it is, sir.
Wouldn't that kill the battery really quickly?
I think the battery just died.
Shut up.
It just shut off. Live on Race Feed X, light one way.
Rounding out the field, the 55 machine, Dalen Coffey, and the 37 driven by Joey Price out of Great Falls, Montana.
Wow.
Thanks for coming out, Price. He had a rough night last night, looking to pick it up here tonight. Green flag is in the air. This is going to be tight.
That was tight.
This is probably going to be a weekend that Schweitzer's not going to want to remember. Matt Schweitzer, that 78S machine, falling back through the field. Just had a rough time getting that car to turn all last night. He slipped just outside now of the bubble spot. The battle for the transfer spot with Cody Laney, Ryan Daves, and Brett Bennett.
Dave's in that 22 red machine down low. Gets the job done.
For now. Now Laney goes to the inside, gets the job done. Into turn number 1. Laney has the advantage on Daves. Now Daves has to do with Brett Bennett in the 151 machine. Down the back straightaway they go. If you can't see the ones on the 151, we can't starting to heat up a little bit.
Yes, it is, sir.
Laney in the 1100 has it. The 151 machine wants it. Through turns 3 and 4, Bobby Hogue the Force going to take this victory in the heat race. No B main event for him tonight. The transfer spot, who is it going to be? Sanders and Laney will take the transfers. Hard racing all throughout the pack in this heat race. Getting ready for the heat race. Troy Morris, who's second on the inside. 07 takes the green flag.
Now, how about this returning driver? We did not see him much last night. The 11, welcome back, Brandon Potter from Oregon. He's going to stack up, and Morris is going to make it 3 wide. Potter holding on, spinning out into turn 3. No major contact. Billy Wilker, I should say. 71 is going to spin out. No caution. This race continues on. Troy Folger in the 49 machine to the inside in the second spot.
Oh, yeah.
3 wide battle for the lead.
Well, that was wild.
See the 66P Paul Stone to the inside of the 1C Aaron Kroll from Oakley, California. And in the middle of all this mix, the 15 of Eagleston.
Yeah, Tommy Eagleston, I noticed a trend with him on 2-day shows. We usually only see him on a Saturday.
He could be a working man.
Wilkers on the inside. And Sawyer on the outside. Now going to make a move. I was going to say that 71 machine has pulled it to the apron. Looks like the suspension might have some damage there for that car.
Troy Morris Jr., the 07X. Your leader, lap number 5. Sawyer in the second spot. Third spot, Troy Folger in his number 49 machine. Now we got a battle for 4th. Stone to the inside of Eagleston. Bill must have showed up as a late entry because he's not even on the sheet. So that could put us at 31 IMCA modifieds for the weekend. White flag flying. Troy Morris leading him down the back straightaway. Folger's going to give it one last try on Sawyer. Out of turn number 4, 07X. Troy Morris the second. Checkered flag. Sawyer. Folger's going on to the feature. Paul Stone, Eagleston, Crowell, and the 11 going to spin it out just for fun. 360. There's the wall in front of you. Morris is going to keep it up of the 11 of Potter from St. Helens, Oregon. And it was looking. It wasn't looking good for Potter last night.
I want to say though that Potter there had one heck of a back straightaway. That was very.
That was a wild back straightaway. He had his hands full.
So good work on everyone to avoid making that any worse. I thought that was going downhill quick.
Yeah, me too. Jim's cheering on Paul Stone and Nick Spainhoward.
Like to race and all that good stuff, especially this. John Piker.
There you go, sir. Where's the paper? You're tangled up in blue?
Tangled up, yep. All right, getting the one to go. Let's go through the field.
This, I believe, is our final heat race of the night.
Starting on the front row, Tommy, you got his name right. So the 22M machine.
Mitch Machado.
There you go, you win. Starting on his outside, the 24, Rick Childress Jr., the outlaw we call him. Row number 2 to the inside, the 28P is John Piker and the 89L of Chris Lewis. Row 3, Alex Stanford went from the B main event to finishing 4th last night. What can he do tonight? And do his outside the 77 of Wild Bill Bartels. Green flag is in the air for the first lap of the final heat race. 17N machine Steve Nolan and the 87 car. I I know that's Buck Cox, but unfortunately they didn't get his name on the sheet for the second night in a row.
Great battle up front. 4 cars duking it out.
By the way, yeah, they were 4 wide for the lead there. Very exciting. And no, seriously, this is incredible racing here, ladies and gentlemen. On the outside, Childress going to make the move. Piker and Stanford side by side. Contact down the front straightaway between 17 in of Nolan and Lewis in the 89. Tommy with that tight battle that went through the turn. Machado. Oh, Bartels is going to spin it out over the turn. It'll be a single car spin after contact with Lewis. I was going to say Machado lost a bit of time there after there was just room that was not going to make room for 4 cars.
No, definitely not. This track is wide, but it's not that wide.
They'll try to make it that wide. So it's Childress, Piker, and Stanford, your top 3 right now. Those 3 drivers will move on to the A main event. Halfway through this heat race. Machado, first driver outside, looking in. 22 in machine. Nolan, Lewis, Cox, and Bartels. The rest of the field. Still a good battle here for the second position. Stanford looking, peeking to the inside of Piker. Now he's going to dive to the inside. Trying to make it work here through turns 1 and 2 on lap number 6. Next time by, we'll see the white flag for the leaders. And Bartels, Tommy, has some issue there. He's gonna hold it down low for the leaders to go on by on the outside. He's gonna close up the lane and help out Childress out of turn number 4. He's gonna take the checkered flag of this heat race. Piker and Stanford go on to the A main event battle for 4th. Machado holds off Nolan. Lewis crossing the line. Cox is going to roll across the line. And Bartels finished 1 lap down.
I'm not too sure if that was the last heat race. I'm looking at our flag man. He's spinning around.
He is spinning around.
Passing out some freebies.
That was the last heat race. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here. We might be able to get that camera started if we want to try. Do you dare me like I dare me?
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you all for tuning in here on YouTube, Race FeedX viewers. Stay right put. Take a break. Go get some beverages, some food, whatever you got to do. We're going to take a little bit of an intermission. We're going to go set up some cameras and be right back for our main events, B mains, and features coming up. So take a break, and we'll be back.